From grinding to survive another day, to living forever by becoming immortal. These are the 7 levels of wealth, starting with survival mode, where rent is $1,200, but you only make $1,400, leaving you $200 for gas, food, and bills. You work 40 hours a week just for your paycheck to disappear in 2 days, forcing you to rely on debt to survive. And the worst part is literally any small emergency destroys your bank account. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed, profiting off interest from your debt. But if you're lucky, you might escape and live paycheck to paycheck. Now, you can at least pay bills on time. You can afford groceries and even have small luxuries like Netflix without going into debt. But when you hear a car make a suspicious noise, you know it's over as you look at your bank account with $200. You're now back at level 1, except now with a $1,200 credit card bill that you swear you'll pay off soon. Even if you get lucky enough to not have any emergencies this month, inflation increases the prices of everything, making it more expensive to live every month. But at least you can pretend you're middle class, while retirement is something you'll start thinking about soon. You've escaped survival mode, but the system still owns you. However, if you manage to get a promotion, you might now be barely comfortable. You now finally have a savings account. It has 4 digits in it, but you're still terrified to touch it. On paper, you can handle a $1,000 emergency without spiraling into debt, but deep down inside, you know you can't. You start thinking about retirement, then immediately laugh because the calculator says you need $2 million and you only have $8,000. While researching, you realize that home ownership is a dream as you Google ridiculously rising house prices you know you'll never afford. But at least you unlocked name brand groceries, Spotify Premium, and a gym membership you'll use twice a month. Although you're technically stable, you've been poor long enough that spending money feels like a crime. The fear of losing it keeps you living like you're still broke. But if you keep grinding and playing the game, something strange happens around 6 figures. Welcome to level 4, where you're doing fine. You're upper middle class, drive a nice car, own a house, and your kids go to good schools. On paper, you're winning, but in reality, you're just as trapped as you were at level 2. Your car costs $700 a month. Your mortgage is $3,500. You make 6 figures and still feel broke. Because the American dream doesn't cost $60,000 a year to maintain. It costs $200,000. You can afford a vacation, but it goes on a credit card. You have a retirement account, but it feels inadequate. You're house rich and cash poor, which is just a fancy way of saying the bank owns everything. At this level, wealth isn't about freedom, it's about performance. You look successful. And the irony, the guy at level 2 thinks you have it all figured out. But if you invest and let compound interest do its thing for 20 years, or build a business, you might actually reach financial independence. Or you could full port Fartcoin and hope to get lucky. Level 5 is where the game actually changes completely. You don't have to work, you choose to. Your investments generate enough passive income to cover your lifestyle. Money makes money. You're free. You can fly business class without flinching. You own property outright. You can help your family without it hurting. Work becomes optional, which sounds like a paradise, until you realize you have no idea what to do with your life. Turns out retirement isn't a destination. It's just unemployment with better marketing. This is the first level where you're not worried about money. You're worried about meaning. You spent 30 years climbing, and now that you're at the top, you realize the finish line didn't come with a manual. Freedom without purpose is just expensive boredom. Some people at this level start businesses. Some travel the world. Some discover that infinite free time is actually kind of miserable. But if you keep investing, if you keep winning, even after you've won, you hit millionaire status. That's when things get weird. Level 6 is the weird zone. You have fuck you money, but not change the world money. You're rich enough to be completely out of touch with normal people, but not rich enough to be untouchable. Private school for the kids, but not private jets. You can retire at 40, but most people at this level don't, because once you have money, the game becomes about keeping it. You start caring about tax optimization. Philanthropy becomes a hobby/identity. You're worried about wealth preservation, not creation. And here's the kicker. You're richer than 99% of people, but you're still looking up, because the gap between you and a billionaire is bigger than the gap between you and someone making minimum wage. A millionaire with 10 million is closer to broke than they are to Jeff Bezos. You're in the club, but you're sitting at the kids' table. Your rich friends have yachts. You have a small-ass boat. There's a difference, and it eats at you. Because at this level, wealth isn't about survival or freedom anymore. It's about status, and status is relative, which brings us to the final level, the one where money stops being money and starts being power. Level 7 is incomprehensible. You don't live in the same reality as everyone else. You can buy countries, fund wars, crash currencies on accident. When you make a mistake, it costs millions and it doesn't matter. Politicians return your calls. Your charity is a tax strategy and a PR campaign. You own things normal people can't pronounce.
You
At this level, money isn't the point anymore. It's just numbers on a screen. Elon Musk just made $100,000 in the time it takes you to listen to this sentence. Jeff Bezos bought a $500 million yacht, then bought another $75 million yacht just because he felt like it. Bill Gates could spend $1 million a day for 600 years and still be a billionaire. These aren't even people anymore. And the weirdest part, they're not even that happy, because at level 7, you run out of things to buy, so you start buying time. Anti-aging research, cryogenic freezing, longevity startups. The richest people alive are trying to solve death, not poverty, because time is the only thing they can't buy. And that's the ultimate irony. The broke guy at level 1 and the billionaire at level 7 have one thing in common. They're both selling their time, one to survive, the other to live forever. And the funny part, every level thinks the next one will fix them. Level 1 thinks level 2 is freedom. Level 2 thinks level 3 is security. Level 3 thinks level 4 is success. And level 7 thinks level 8 is living forever. Turns out, the final level of wealth isn't buying a yacht, it's buying back the time you sold to get there. Maybe wealth isn't the 7 levels. Maybe it's realizing that you don't need to climb them in the first place. Or maybe that's just what broke people say to feel better. And if you want to reach level 7 one day, subscribe for good luck.